It's got a little chocolate bits in it. It's what I'm living on at the moment. I wanted to talk to you about my diet today because since I got out of hospital, I feel better every single day. And I can't just attribute it to cannabis because I've been doing this for 5.5 years now, since they told me I had 12 months to live. And yeah, up until I went to hospital, I believe I was killing the disease. So I still had the disease and my diet was really different. But I wanted to explain to you how I eat and why I eat. So when I first found out, which I've said before in other videos, sorry, I get a little bit of indigestion because of the milk, but it's worth it. When I found out I had 12 months to live, I asked my body, why am I dying? And it said, because I've wanted to die since the age of 3. That made sense to me because I've always had a death wish. That's all I can say. I was pretty happy. I loved myself. I'd worked very hard to get there though, but I wanted a place of peace, and I used to think death was it. And so I used to envisage myself being dead. And so I realised that was a really dumb thing to do. So I asked my body to help me get well. And so the first thing was to stop thinking that way and to start thinking alive, which I've talked about a bit and I'll talk about more, but that's not tonight. The other thing was I asked my body to tell me what it needed. And could it tell me what it needed? And it said it could, that it knew what it needed and it could tell me. So I listen to what my body craves, and that's what I eat always. I eat, and I've got really good at listening to my body. So it takes a while to learn to tune into it and not have fears of sugars and stuff like that. But I'm pretty in tune, so that helps. But anyway, I'll tell you my story. Yours is yours. So I tuned into my body and started listening to what it wanted. And then I would check up whatever it was craving. I would check up on Google and see, did it suit, what did it do? I'd write in whatever health benefits, and whatever it did would always be whatever I tended to be working on with my healer at that time. So, and I've said this before, if it was blood pressure, I'd be eating blood pressure tablets or whatever, blood pressure foods or whatever. Now, since I've got out of hospital, all I've been wanting to eat, all I've been eating is this, literally. I've never been a milk drinker. I see it diarrhea from ice cream. Yeah, it's weird. But now, this is what my body wants, but it's very specific. It wants organic cocoa, a little bit. It wants maple syrup, pure maple syrup, quite a bit. Lots of ice cream and a little bit of milk. And that's it. That's what it wants. And that's what I've been living on. And then for dinner, I've been eating broccoli, chips, and gravy. I like chips and gravy, and chips. I think my body wants potato, but potassium is no good for me at the moment because I've got high potassium and I'm already having milk which has got high potassium in it, etc. So the food is low potassium because the chips done that way are low potassium, and the broccoli boiled the way I do it is low potassium. So yeah, and the broccoli is a superfood, and the maple syrup is a massive superfood. And every morning I'm waking up feeling amazing. I looked at my body naked today, and a few weeks ago I looked like I was about 100 years old and my skin was hanging off me, and Now I've got boobs again, and I don't know, I'm starting to look like normal again instead of like a junkie, which is good. I like it. Feel good, feel better about myself. So that's pretty awesome. The only thing that worries me is the factory farming of food. Lots of people know about factory farmed meat and they're worried about that, but do we realise that our vegetables half the time are factory farmed these days? I mean, have we seen what they're going to do to cannabis? How they want to factory farm that? It certainly doesn't look very natural to me, the way they want to farm it. It doesn't look like a natural environment or that it's being grown naturally at all. It's factory farmed. And that's the problem with these crappy foods that they make these days. So I try and buy my vegetables and things like that as much as possible from farmers market or on local produce. It's also usually cheaper, but it can't always be done. Sometimes you can't, so you've just got to have supermarket food, and that's the way it is. But it's best if you can try and buy locally grown, and usually people are using not as much. You can usually get organic stuff, even if it's not certified organic. People that are growing around my area anyway. I'm sure around your area too, it's pretty big. People are doing it all over the place, realising that food grown normally is kind of important because we put it in our bodies, and if our bodies die, we'll be dead. Oh, that would be weird, wouldn't it? We'd be dead. Wouldn't exist anymore. Dead. Do you need to be told you've got 12 months to live? I don't know, maybe we all do. I wanted to leave Pink because I can, because she sings ice cream, we all scream for ice cream, and that's like my song, Because I Can by Pink. But then I just wanted to live like You're Dying by Tim McGraw, but I already left that song, so I don't need to, so I will leave the Pink song, because that's how I live. And I never knew why she was screaming for ice cream, but now I know. It's like confirmation that I'm right. It's amazing. Some people would say that's a coincidence. Some people. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I will end with my traditional ending, which is my living wish. My living wish is to meet Eminem. I believe his name's Marshall Mathers. He lived in Michigan. I don't stalk him or anything. I have Googled his house. It was on Google. It just come up. I don't. Oh God! I can't believe I have to edit that out now. You should Google my house. See if you can find me on the internet. It's only fair, really. You should. That's my message to you tonight. Just to be fair. It'll be fun. See if you can find where I live. I reckon you could if you tried hard enough. And if you're not Eminem and you turn up at my house, I could shoot you or make you into some kind of frog in my magic cauldron. Be careful. I mean it. I'm crazy. Alright, I'm going. Eminem. Bye. Yeah. Google Earth. I live in paradise. True paradise. True paradise. It's amazing. Paradise exists and I don't want to lose it ever. And I'm not putting up a parking lot. Anyway, see ya, love ya, bye.